I've spent over 10 years and almost $10,000 building my perfect desk setup. These are the 5 upgrades that matter the most. And towards the end of the video, I'll have a pretty controversial honorable mention, so stick around for that. Okay, so this video is not sponsored, but I've been sponsored by all sorts of brands in the past, like Secret Lab, Livernovo, or FlexiSpot. So I've had the privilege of trying out the best of the best for my desk setup. But well before I ever got a sponsor on this channel, I made the single biggest purchase for my desk setup of all time, the Herman Miller Embody Gaming Chair. And no, I'm not telling you to go spend over $2,000 on this chair. The point I'm trying to make is that I have not regretted that purchase since. Investing in a real ergonomic office chair is the single most important upgrade you can make if you spend any amount of time at your desk setup. I recommend you do this before you upgrade your monitor, your computer, or anything else. I sat for so many years in chairs that didn't fit my body well, and my posture and my overall comfort level suffered immensely. I know ergonomic chairs can get really expensive, but this is the one time I'll tell you just to buy once, cry once in this video. So if you want to know my #1 recommendation, it's the Livernovo Omni SE. I did get this chair sent to me by Livernovo, but it is genuinely the best chair I've ever sat in. My full review is linked below. This thing is not cheap though, so I've also linked a video I made that breaks down office chair recommendations for every single budget range. Okay, so the second most important part of your desk setup is the desk itself. And that may seem pretty obvious, but I made the mistake for years of just using whatever desk that I happen to have. Once I got a standing desk, it completely changed how I work, and not because I stand a whole lot. Being able to stand while working is nice, but the biggest selling point for me is that I can adjust the desk height to the 1/10 of an inch so that when I'm sitting down, I'm in the perfect position to work. This is one where you don't really need to spend all that much compared to the chair. Something like the FlexiSpot EN1 sometimes is on sale for close to $100, and having owned this desk for years, you'll have no problems with it. And of course, I have a video breaking down standing desk recommendations at every budget that's linked below. Okay, so this one is admittedly personal preference, but the third most important thing for my desk setup is having a really good keyboard. In fact, my first ever desk setup purchase was a Logitech mechanical keyboard. When it comes to getting stuff done, the keyboard is the thing that we interact with the most, and having something that's satisfying to type on, sounds great, and feels tactile is something you'll appreciate every time that you sit down at your desk. I get that you could say the same thing about a mouse, but as a guy who owns a fancy productivity mouse and a super light gaming mouse, I could absolutely make do with just a basic office mouse from Amazon. But I could never go back to a normal membrane keyboard. I personally have had a great experience with Keychron. If you're not interested in going down the whole rabbit hole of custom boards and group buys, they make a wide variety of products that are all high quality. And you guessed it, I have a video recommending mechanical keyboards at every price that's linked down below too. Okay, I think this might be the most underrated thing on this list by far. Everyone knows you need a desk or a chair, but who's intentionally thinking about lighting solutions for your desk setup? But having biased lighting, or light that spills around your monitor, is extremely important for eye health. The reason why looking at screens at night causes eye strain is because your eye sees both the brightness of the screen and the darkness of the room around you. I'm not a doctor, but my understanding is that contrast can put stress on your eyes and cause all sorts of problems in the long term. If you have biased lighting though, this will help immensely and allow you to work at any hour of the day. So I have 2 main light sources at my desk setup. The first is this Kunti's light bar. It's around $60 and has radar motion activation so that when you approach the desk, it automatically turns on and turns off 5 minutes after you leave. It's great because it's automatic and it has variable brightness and color temperature, and it lights up my desk without any glare on my monitor. The second is this Philips Hue light strip on the back of my monitor. It's a smart light, so it syncs with my Apple Home, and it's RGB, so I can tune the lighting to the exact mood that I want to set. This way I have light behind my monitor to save my eyes, and light on my desk area so I can focus on my work at night. Okay, so this is my kind of controversial pick. It doesn't make the main list because admittedly it's not as important as everything else, but I think having a monitor arm is borderline essential. I get that monitors come with stands already, so this may seem like an unnecessary waste of money, but having a monitor arm just frees up so much desk space and gives your setup such a clean aesthetic. Look, if you're gonna cut out anything from this video, then it probably should be this one. But I don't regret a penny of the money that I spent on my monitor arm. I'll link mine below. I've used it with a heavy 42-inch display for years with no issues. Okay, finally, I made this mistake for so many years. But investing in cable management is not only necessary, but it's the cheapest way that you can invest in your desk setup and make it significantly better. Not only does it remove visual clutter, but it also removes the annoyance of dealing with random cables under your desk. But the reason why I put this here is because I think it's really easy to buy the wrong cable management kit. Normally you'd get something like this off of Amazon, but honestly, the vast majority of this kit is stuff you won't really use. For me personally, I bought this 50 pack of cable clips right here. These stick under your desk, and then you can just feed your wires right through them. And save yourself the time, you're not going to need anything else besides these.